Hello everyone, we are back on my bench. This time we have another PET 2001 first revision board, which is 320008. But the owner of this 2001 got the board without any ROM and without any RAM. This board has the 6540 MOS technology mass programmed ROMs and the MOS technology 6550 RAMs, so there is no easy substitute for them. It comes with two 6550 in the video RAM position and mostly replaced chips. This is a UM6502, an MC6821 in place of a 6520, a real 6520 here, and Rockwell 6522, original 6540 character generator ROM. So all I can do in this board at the moment is to use the PET tester 2001 with my adapter to be in a socket, and a 6540 socket. And the adapter shows, of course, bad RAMs, there's no RAM, empty ROM sockets, that's right. Some problems on the characters. So in a situation like this, when on a 2001 board all the 6550 RAMs and 6540 ROMs are missing, or even most of them sometimes, what makes sense is to design a RAM-ROM replacement board, or buy one. There are some other version in commerce, but I decided to design my own, but because this one is the smallest it can get, because there is a place for the 6502, 32 kilobytes of RAM, 64 kilobytes of ROMs selectable in a couple of banks, no programmable logic, but just some glue logic, of course. In this version that was quick and dirty for me, I can select external or internal RAM, external or internal ROM, and a couple of different ROM images, and it replaced it lives in the 6502 socket, and the 6502 lives in a socket here in this board. So let's populate it and see what happens. Okay, here's the replacement in place with the EEPROM and the socketed 6502. First of all, I had to substitute this 6821. This is the old one, and I placed the new one here because it was getting very hot and the keyboard did not work anyway. Now we have a nice prompt. This is basic 3, but I have a basic 2 image on the same EEPROM, so I can select it. Now we're trying to run some tests now. Okay, it mostly works fine, but you see this flickering character, it should be here, and it's probably a problem in the video RAM scanning circuit that compose the screen. I don't think it's a real problem in the video RAM, but I will check that shortly. And well, it mostly works anyway. I loaded this program from the floppy disk, and I will try now to load the same program from tape. Now swapping the to 6550 has this strange effect that we have a spurious character here and a double cursor now in this position, these two positions. So I guess it has something to do with the 6550. I don't know, I will need to check further. So the machine is almost all working. I tested the various ports, the IEEE interface, the user port, both tape connectors, loaded programs from both disks and tape. So machine works very fine except for some character problems. You see here the character is not correct in this position. This should not be here, but it's not a real content of the video RAM. As you can see, this is the position and 32 is the space character, so this is a shadow from the first position. And I tried to substitute the video RAMs, both of them, with my 2114 replacement, and everything was fine with the replacements. So I think the RAMs are a bit too slow. They maybe have failed slightly, and when they address in this point, we have 9 addresses line changing from this position to this one, so probably the RAM is slow to respond to all these addresses changes at the same time. Together with the owner of this board, we decided to leave it alone in this state because everything else works fine, and so if it would be able to find the original 6550 and 6540 ROMs, he will probably substitute them and make the board original again as much as possible, and remove the daughterboard with the RAM replacement. I will make a second revision of this board, having a separate jumper to enable or disable any external ROM. Well, on the 2001 original board, every jumper will enable or disable a couple of ROMs. It will be a jumper for every 4 kilobytes, and the original were only 2 kilobytes, but starting from the 2001N revision board, every jumper will enable or disable a single ROM, so the daughterboard will be able to be used to check every ROM separately from including or excluding from the memory space of the 6502, and helping troubleshooting. The signals are all here in coming to a decoder chip, but for space problems I didn't bring 2 jumpers in this first revision, but it will be on the next. So this one kind of works, considering the age of the machine. It's enough for now if we don't want to spend a fortune or just using adapters everywhere. So let's see you next time. Thank you for watching.